What? No theme music, nah?
Gusto, now Chris the host. Man, I make a little dinner while busting joke. Come to the yard, get it off your chest. There's no hard feelings when you're rocking with the best. Everything's crisp, everything's nice. Throw a little sugar, add a little spice. Ask school questions, cook a little rice. Gamble like Vegas and throw a little dice. Raise your glasses, make a toast. Drop by Chris for a Sunday roast. Or 8 taste of his mixology. Get twisted and not off the Hennessy. Now your belly's full, play a game of ball. Gusto, he's coming from the old school. No if buts, maybes, whys. No silly questions, I tell no lies.
Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.
Hey.
Oi!
You alright?
How you doing?
Alright, yeah. Sorry, I was looking for you on my story, but normally it comes up at the top, but it didn't, so.
Didn't? That's a bit odd.
Sorry about that.
You're tagged in, innit? Always getting that water in, yes.
Always.
Definitely. Word of warning, just to pre-warn you now, because I've had this all day. If it cuts out anything, I may have to go out and come back in, but we're alright for now.
Hey, Orlan. How you doing, bro?
Oh yes, Orlan. Jackman, Mr. Jackman himself. Anyway, how you doing anyway?
Alright, not bad.
Siobhan.
Just got back from shopping. It took us about 2 hours to wipe everything down and put it away.
Oh, damn. And then queuing up for half an hour before you can go in and all of that. Oh,
I know. Kind of getting bored of it, not gonna lie.
I always wondered, right, your name's Irish, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's spelled...
You wonder why it was so messed up the way it's spelled.
You know what the funny thing is? I knew it was Siobhan, but before when I used to pronounce that name, I used to read off a paper, like, if I was reading out, just randomly reading the name. And I was saying, so I believe here is Siobhan. And
yeah.
Siobhan Han. And it's like, no, it's not, it's Siobhan. I'm like, where's the V? You know what I mean?
Okay, so did you write it down on your paper so you could remember it, like the way that it sounded?
Yeah, Siobhan, there we go, Siobhan. Siobhan.
Yeah, so it basically, because it's an Irish name,
yeah,
it's like Gaelic, right? So the B and the H in the Gaelic alphabet, it makes a V sound.
Okay, all right.
Like SH in the English dictionary makes a sh sound, It's like, yeah, weird. But it's the worst, like, when I used to be at, like, European Championships and stuff as a kid, because then you get, like, people that don't actually speak English anyway trying to, like, pronounce my name. Horrendous, like, actually horrendous.
Good man. Yes, we have a Siobhan Han, and you're like, what?
And it was always Prior, not Prior. Siobhan Prior.
Come on, man, that's Prior, man. You come on, Richard Prior. The Priors are popping the name. Shout out Hudson, Tom Hudson in the building just came in. It's got quite a few. You got quite a few fans, isn't it?
Yeah, got some friends,
All right. Yeah. So how have you been dealing with lockdown anyway? With all of this going on?
Do you know what? Like, in the beginning, I know this is like supposed to be like a light question, but unfortunately my circumstance wasn't so light when we went into lockdown because like my mum had passed away. So it was the first like few weeks were just like, what is this life? Like, what is going on? Yeah, so it was crazy. But then, yeah, now do you know what? It's actually been quite a nice time just to, I'm still working and everything from home, like full time, but it's just been really nice to have like some alone time a little bit.
Yeah, you can unwind a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yes, definitely. I think it's helped in that sense. Yeah, it's giving people time to just relax now.
Yeah, think about what's important again,
Yeah, definitely. So where is it you grew up then? Did you grow up in Ireland then, or was it?
My mum's family's all from Ireland.
Yeah.
In Tipperary. But yeah, I'm from Nottingham, born and bred.
Tipperary? Oh.
Yeah, Tipperary.
Okay. That's like a village kind of area, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, it's in like a valley, so the city, well, it's not a city, I guess, it's not a village. What's in the middle of a city and a village? Like a town.
Town.
Yeah. So it's like sits in like a valley. So like the town's here, really cute, and then all the mountains are around it. It's really pretty.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So do you visit a lot?
Yeah, well, I used to more so like when I was younger, so 6 weeks holidays and that's it. We'd be packing off to Ireland and we'd spend our time there. And it was like, even now when you go, way more modern than it used to be, but it's sort of like a step back in time. So the doors are all still open, no one locks the doors, you can just walk into your neighbour's house and Annie, hi. Oh my God, I can't wave. Well, it says Air Cassie. Wave to her. She's one of my old teammates. I love her.
Cassie, good. So where is it you grew up again in England then?
Nottingham.
Oh, so born and bred in Nottingham. And you play for Nottingham Wildcats. You not play for the other team ever?
I would never play for another team in England ever. No.
Hey, that's homegrown talent there. I like that. I mean, they should be paying you as the hometown hero, not in terms of basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I would never. Other teams, obviously in other places, there's Andrea. Hey, Andrea. I don't mind, I don't care. Yeah, but definitely no, I would play for no other club in England. Not for no amount of money, for nothing.
I understand that. I shout out Andrea, who destroyed me in one-on-one when I was 10 years old.
She's trying to teach you a lesson.
Because you know what it was? Because I was the same height as her, like 10 years old. I was a bit taller than her. And I thought, I said, I'm how you better than me? Because I'm tall, innit? And then, I learned a valuable lesson. Don't judge a book by its cover. And never underestimate anyone. So when did you start getting into basketball then?
So, I mean, it's really like I never had a choice. It's like a family thing. My dad, he coached, and my mum, she played. So, so like Andrea, for example, I've known since I was, or she's known me, I guess, since I was tiny. So I've always grown up in the basketball family. And I did Irish dancing when I was younger as well.
Oh, right, that's no surprise, isn't it? Oh, no surprise.
Full on river dance. But that's basically because my parents didn't want me to just feel like I had to do basketball.
Yeah.
But then I guess I got to about the age of 13 and you couldn't really do too properly. So I couldn't practice as much as I needed to practice with dancing and practice as much as I needed to do with basketball at the same time. So when I was about 13, I chose basketball and played ever since.
Okay. So leading up to the Wildcats journey, talk us through that from when you first started playing and then leading up to Wildcats. How did that work?
Yeah. So when I first started playing, Wildcats didn't actually have junior teams.
Yeah.
So I used to play for the Division 2 side, and then they also had a Division 1 side, which was what the equivalent of the WBBL now, right? So I played for Division 2 when I was younger, and then I think I played for Doncaster for 1 year as well. My parents used to take me around to. There was a coach called Ian Day at Doncaster. Who was a really good coach. So they used to just take me around to who were good coaches and stuff. And then when I got to about the age of 16, then we started having junior teams at Wildcats. So then it was Wildcats then really, all the way through until I played in the Division 1 team when I was about 17, 18, and then I went to the States.
Okay, you went to the States. Okay, where did you play in the States?
At Loyola University in Maryland. It's based in Baltimore.
Yeah, and you was there for the full 4 years?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How was that whole experience, playing in the States and? I said something in it.
The first year is awful. Like, not gonna lie. The first year I was like calling home crying, and
Yeah,
it was bad. The first year was bad. But after that, my sophomore year, junior year, senior, I would go through my freshman year all over again. Just to have those 3 years. Like, I absolutely loved it. And I get so jealous of any of our kids that are like going across to the States now. I'm like, I want to do it again. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So when you came back, is that when you went back to play for Nottingham Wildcats when you came back from the States, or was you doing?
So I came back and I went to Greece and I played in Greece for a little while.
Oh, how was that?
Yeah, it was good actually. So one thing about myself is that I doubt myself. Like, that's my go-to. Is like the first time I do something, I'm like, I'm not gonna be I can't be able to do this. The team that I went on to was like a Euro Cup team or whatever. Yeah. And then so I was quite like pleasantly surprised when I got there that I was like, oh, okay, if I can play in this, like, it's fine. Yeah. And then with that team, there was like problems with finances and things like that. So,
paid or nothing, or was it just?
So I can talk about it now, can't I? It doesn't really matter. I got paid like the first month was fine, like no problems. And actually, one of my teammates there, Jen, she was amazing. She played with Diana Taurasi on the Phoenix Mercury, so she'd like won a WNBA championship and so she was sick. Yeah, she was amazing. And she had actually played for them the year before, so I remember like my agent was her agent, and he said just have a chat with Jen, because I wasn't sure about going, just because I'd heard just be careful about Greece in case you don't get paid or whatever. So I called her and she had gotten paid the year before, so it was fine, right? So I was like, okay, cool. So she came back, she was with me, so this was her second year. And then one of my other favourite like teammates ever, Chloe, she was like a centre from USC, and she came for her first year with us as well. So it was all fine, like in the beginning. I remember a month in, we had like a team function. So out there, it's not just basketball. The club has football, basketball, volleyball for the most part.
That one club there has other sports, football.
Exactly.
And basketball and another sport you just said.
Yeah, and volleyball and yeah. Mm-hmm. So all of like the fans from the town came, and it was in the sports hall, had this like big function, and the president of the club had stood up and he was talking and addressing everybody. So we couldn't understand what he was saying, right? But Nikki, she was one of the younger Greek players. She was translating it all for us. And she was like, he's just apologising for everything that happened with like the finances and stuff. So we were like, what? Why? What's happened with the finances? No. And so then it all came to light that apparently the summer before we sort of got there, the old president of the club had just taken all of the money from the club and done a runner, basically.
Wow.
So there was like loads of fines and stuff that hadn't been paid, and the football team had got relegated they were in the top flight of their division, like down to the bottom flight as a penalty.
Oh,
it was a mess. So then obviously like we called our agent and stuff, and he was like livid. He was Greek as well, so he'd sort of like come over and was trying to sort it all out. But at the end of the day, they were trying to get sponsors and stuff. It just wasn't fun, because then you knew that like people were coming to watch you, not because they wanted to see you like win for their team or whatever. It was like, are we going to pay this? Are we going to give money to this team to pay these players? And it was just a mess. The whole thing was a mess. So, so I came home. I came home and then I went to Slovakia. I tore my MCL and wasn't recovered fully enough. And so my first year was a bit of a nightmare.
Oh man! What year was that then, roughly then?
That would have been 2009-10 season.
All right. So when did after all of that then? So when did the Nottingham
Yeah, so that was sort of just a year or so after that I was playing for them professionally. Played for them ever since, really. I've had like sort of spouts in and out of professional basketball. So for a couple of years I was a primary school teacher and I still played in the WBBL but didn't get paid. Then I went back to it for the Commonwealth, to train for the Commonwealth Games, and then after that now I still play but I don't get paid anymore.
Okay, so it's been a bit of a, on that side of it, there's been a love for it, but on the other side of it, the business side of it, it's been a bit of a patchy relationship, you say?
Yeah, I'd say so, but I guess at Wildcats, like in Nottingham, I've sort of been in control of the narrative of it all.
That's good, though. The whole time, I told you.
So that's nice, and they've been, like super supportive and everything, obviously, of everything that I've sort of wanted to do in my career. But it's more so like when I went away, I'd always wanted to be a professional player, right, since a kid, and I went away and I was just sort of like, God, this is not what I had envisioned it being at all. And now, actually, when I speak to like other players on like the GB team and stuff, on the senior team, I remember at like one of my first camps, they were saying to me, if you would have just stuck your first year out, things would have been different. And it was interesting because they'd all had, similar first years, whether it's like not to do with money or injury, it might have been, but just they all found that first year really, really tough. I guess just like going to college again, like your freshman year. And then they said like once you came out of that season, it was a lot easier. So, hey, Jen.
Shout out Jen. I'll give her away for you, Jen.
Thank you. Oh, and Leanne, can you give her a wave as well? Yeah. Thanks. So they all sort of said, I remember sitting with actually Jen's sister Jo at GB camp and just saying how maybe I wish that I'd have given it some more time, because they, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But I guess I sort of went out there, it was all like I had an awful experience, came back, and then was just sort of comfortable, like at Wildcats. I wouldn't change it for the world now, because sort of like the path of my life has been the way it should have been, and I truly believe that. But I might have gone out for another season, like to another place, if I had, if I'd have had that hindsight, maybe.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, that's good. And how does that feel, like you're coming back home to your hometown to play for the Wildcats? I was told by Nicolette I'll do this.
Is that what she said?
Wildcats. That's what I said. So this is what we're going to call it. The Wildcats.
Oh my God. Yeah, I guess you could do that.
They have a cat mascot running around,
Yeah, no, you know what? Playing for Wildcats, it's I love it, but it's kind of, hey Alex, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? Because it's hard when it's my team, so like it's my parents' club, right?
That's your parents' club.
Yeah, so I'd grown up around it. So there's like an element of you kind of always fit in with the team, but with some people you always do. Alex loves the Wildcats. I love you too. Alex was one of our players. She plays for Leicester now.
I'm gonna scratch Alex.
Right, but but then in some ways you can't fit in, because decisions that happen behind the scenes or always get blamed on you. Like, you must have always known everything that was going on. So in that way, it can make like relationships quite difficult. And I think I'm quite guarded in that sense. So if I was in the way I was like in the States, or the way that I was with like the senior GB team, it's not the same. You don't feel the same because you don't have that guard up. You can just be fully yourself. It is. I love it. I would never play for any other team in England, but it can be quite difficult.
All right. Do you have any siblings By the way, are you the only child? Oh, she had it all to herself.
Spoiled, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was to see. Was there any competition between you and your dad? Maybe any competitiveness at times?
Between who? Sorry.
You and your dad, or you and your mum even?
Me and Mum, really. Mum more because, so she was kind of like you were saying about Andrea beat you at 1-on-1 when you was 11.
Like 10, I remember.
10,
That was
sorry.
Crystal Palace. 11 years old. It was just before Hosanna's tournament, and I thought, yeah, she punished me, boy.
Yeah, well, that's what my mum would do, like, all the time. And, you know, you're thinking, like, let your kid win. No, never. Like, and I think I was only got to, when I was maybe, like, 14, that I started to actually, like, beat her. So, yeah, super competitive. And then with dad, it was more just, like, because he was my coach, right? So that never went very well. But it was more just, you know, you'd go, so junior basketball, let's say, you'd have loads of points in a game and you'd come off and you have like the best. I remember having one of the best games of my life. I'd like set like a record for the amount of points like scored as a junior in the club. And I came off and he was like, what about that free throw that you missed? You know, and you're like, dude, like, give me something.
I want something.
Yeah, I never get anything from him, honestly. He's always...
You're probably going to regret that time. Wish I wasn't so hard. Oh,
yeah. No, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's made me the way I am. So.
Yeah, definitely. I've noticed with Nottingham Wildcats, this was very, I won't say touchy subject, very emotional one, I reckon. Noticed there was a woman you had called Pauline who was associated with the club.
That's my mummy.
Oh, that was your mummy? Oh, right. So Pauline was your mum. Oh, so
yeah.
To the rest of the players and how influential she was to the club.
Oh God. I mean, she was just sort of like the heart and soul of the club. I think the thing that was really nice for her, and I think for the other players, was she was very separate from any of like the backroom stuff. So she didn't get involved with, you know, any of like that was all dad. So everything gets blamed on dad. But yeah, so she was sort of always like the mum that looked after everybody and talked to everyone and made sure everybody was all right. And she also coached our mini ballers. So the little ones from age like 5 all the way through to 11, and then she passed them through to 12, and then passed them through to the under 14. So she's seen a lot of our players go all the way through, like from being like little all the way through to if they leave for the States or whatever they do. Yeah, so she was kind of like the heart of the club, really.
Okay, and then the impact on everyone else. I guess it made a huge impact because, you know, it was all over your socials. I did see that, so, you know.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I remember in a cynical way, kind of, when, you know how at the top of your Instagram you can see who's, like, checked out your profile?
Yes.
It was, like, the highest it had ever been, like, in my life, like, by 10 times as many. But, yeah, no, it was nice because it just showed, not even just on our team, but, you know, she'd been, like, a GB team manager and how she like touched other people as well, like in other clubs. And I'm very much like, if you're not on my team and you're not in my club, you got no time. Like, whereas, you know, she sort of
yourself again. One child syndrome.
When I stop playing, it'll change. But you know, and it has started to change, and so as I've got older, but. She was very much, you know, just the same person with everybody. Like, so I think everyone sort of saw that special side of her.
That is very traumatic sometimes, and very heartbreaking when you lose someone like that in the sport. Because it's like it's the same feeling to us as well when because I'm associated with Brixton from young. When he passed, and that hit everyone home. That hit home to everyone very hard. So
yeah, it will.
When Jimmy passed, but his funeral, I remember that there was. Put it this way: every seat was packed, and there was at least hundreds of people standing up. Like, that's how important this guy was. Like, everyone stood up. Yeah. I'd finished a night shift, bearing in mind, and I came from my night shift straight to the funeral. So
yeah, and it's testament to them, isn't it? But it's more because of how they the impact, you're right, but like how they changed the game as well on like on a national scale. So the different, you know, lights that they shine in whatever area they have on the game in a new way and make people think about the game in different ways.
I think as well the life lessons I learned, they taught us as well. It made a lot, everything he was teaching us. It made a lot of sense now. Going to now get older now, kind of understand what he was teaching us. So yeah. Use those skills. Never give up. That's only one of the main things I took in from it. So just don't give up.
And it's always the ones that are like hard. Like Mum was like a hard ass too. Like with the play with her, like even with the little ones, you know.
Yeah.
And at the time, you're like, oh my god, you know, like leave me alone. But then, like when you get older, you're so grateful for it that someone was that hard ass with you and that wanted to do that and didn't just need to be like your best friend. And
definitely. So, talking on another note, the experience of winning a silver medal Commonwealth Games. Talk us through that experience, the emotions going through your mind, your body, everything. Like how was that for you?
Yeah, it feels like it never happened now in a way. It feels like a surreal sort of thing that happened to somebody else.
You're thinking, I did dream this, innit?
Exactly, like, but the whole thing was strange because I hadn't played for the GB senior team, like as a senior, at all. So until I was, what would I have been, like 29, 30, I think it was. So as soon as I got into that GB senior team, I was actually still teaching at school and I was playing WBBL but wasn't professional. So I just quit my job and decided that I was going to go back to playing full time. To try and make the most of the opportunity that I was given, like with the GB stuff. And then along came like the Commonwealth Games stuff, which I'd never really even thought about. And then it started to become this like tangible thing that I could actually achieve. So then it was probably for that year was the first year where instead of having like Wildcats in the forefront of my head, I had a different like goal aside of that. So a lot of my like the way it was planned for me, like by my physios and people at the Spy Nottingham Hospital that I worked with, like my phase training plans were sort of about the Commonwealth Games rather than about like the season, because the Commonwealth Games came in like the middle of the season, right? It was it was really random. So it was weird in that sense because like your whole training regime was off in a way. But then being there but getting the phone call or the email, because we got it on email, that was like the most insane thing. So it was like
Nicolette was like, waiting at 12 o'clock
all night. I'm like, like shit, like I've not I've not made this team. It was awful, like, because you were like, it's this day. You kept checking the calendar, like, it is this day, right? They are gonna, like, I've just missed the
whole
email.
day. They waited for the whole ride. At the end of the day, I've got the team. Like,
yeah, and I was literally in bed,
I reckon they had the team selected and someone didn't do their job properly or something. Oh my God, I meant to email.
Yeah, right. Forgot to press send. Oh my God.
You forgot to press send or something, my bad. All that.
Yeah, like the rest of us, like our lives are hanging in the balance.
Oh man.
Yeah, so no, it was so that bit was quite stressful. But yeah, when we got the emails through, it was amazing. And then that was it. From then on, it was just sort of this like whirlwind. We had to go and get all of our kit at this place where all of the athletes went, and you had to try everything on. You know, pictures, like media.
Full of that.
Yeah, it just became like this massive thing, and then train. Then you get on the plane, right, to go to Australia, which is crazy in itself because we had all of these rules about that you had to get up and stand and walk around for every couple of hours so that you didn't get jet lag. I had things on my eyes to help me go to sleep. I had like them socks on, that like grannies wear on the flight to stop you from like swelling, your calves swelling. Like it just all became like super real. And then Yeah, the whole tournament was amazing, but yeah, that moment of like standing on the podium, you can't even explain it. I still remember the music, I can hear it, I remember the smells, the sights, like it's all so like real still. But yeah, it's just so hard to explain. Yeah.
Congratulations on that one. So I'm guessing that was like one of your most gratifying moments in terms of that silver medal.
Yeah, that was because it's actually as well one of the most teams I'd ever had fun on as well. It was a great team. Like I really enjoyed it. Like got along with everybody. Everyone was for everybody else. There was no like other people got on well with each other, but it didn't. No one left anybody out. Like no, everyone was. It was just brilliant. Like the whole experience was amazing. And then I say the most gratifying one was when we won our first WBBL championship. So I'd say they're like side by side.
I was gonna get into that. So you got 2 titles with that franchise, right? I believe you had one in 2000 and I'm going to now. No, not 16. I'm going wrong now. But you had 2.
I don't know either. Is it 2015 and 16? Was it back to back? I think.
Maybe you had 1 and 2. You had, I think, back to back. I know you had 1 in 2007, 2018, the BBL Championship. Yeah,
that was the cup. We had that.
WBBL Championship in 2016, 17.
Yeah.
And BBL Cup in 2018. Yeah. So 16.
Okay.
So winning those 2, I was winning it. How did it feel winning that back to back? Like emotions, talk us through that whole journey and all that whole progress.
Yeah. So the championship ones are different, right? Because it's a bit of an anticlimax at the end because you go through like the whole season and it's really just done on wins and losses. So we won it in the first one at Northumbria away. So you're not at home or anything. You don't have any home crowd. And if you win this game, no one else can catch you, and that's it. You're going to win the championship. So I think the championships are what I'm most proud of because I think it shows the team that's most consistent throughout the season. But it doesn't feel the same as the cup win because you're in a big arena. And it's like a one or done game. Like you win the cup, you lose, you lose. So the feelings aren't the same, yeah.
So you reckon the winning the championship was a bit more gratifying, a lot more challenging as opposed to the cup?
Yeah, because you go through long seasons of ups and downs and different things that you have to deal with personally as a team, and I think that it's way more gratifying like at the end because you know that you've sort of everyone's come over those things and you've won at the end of it. And I think the first one as well, because the history of the club, I'd always watch Mum play in finals and they were always second. So in the 80s, they were second to Northampton, always. And in the 90s, they were always second to Sheffield. So, yeah, for me, it was just that very first one. It wasn't just like a season's worth of gratification. It was like 40 years worth of, hard work. So
yeah, eventually got it.
Yeah.
Was that with what's the name of the team? You're one of your stars, Joyner.
She was in no, she hasn't been on any of them yet.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So actually, Nana, who's just joined to watch us, she was in one of the title-winning teams. Yeah, so no, Jazz, that's our aim next year. She's not won a title yet with us.
Wow. She deserves it in a way because from what I've seen, the statistics, the stories I've heard, I had Ellie Shackson on from Essex Rebels.
Essex, yeah.
She said, oh, guarding her was like a nightmare.
Yeah. I don't have to do it, so I'm fine.
I was like, yeah. She said, oh my God. She said, I said, what do you mean? It sounded like she said she's got too many moves. She's got one move for this and one move for counters.
Yeah.
Sounds like a female Hakeem Olajuwon.
You know what? She's just relentless. I think if I was playing against her, we get into it in practice. We'll talk about this later, but I love playing with Jazz because She she will fight. Like, she's a fighter, and it's great to like be around. But I guess if you're on the other team and you're playing against her, she's like never not going to go for a rebound. So sometimes you like miss a box out, and you're like, oh crap, I've missed that box out. Well, that if you miss a box out on her, like she's gonna get the ball. Like it's annoying. Like she don't stop.
Like, chill out. Just chill out, man.
Give me a break.
Oh my gosh. Talking of the BBL, so this is a question I ask everyone. So your views on it, your views on the WBBL and the BBL, things that you reckon, that are working that's great, and things that you reckon that they could improve on. What's your views on it? Okay.
So I think the WBBL gets better every year standard-wise. So, like, the standard of... I think we've always had really good imports, actually. European, we've been really lucky, like European and American, but just in general, not just the imports, but from the first player all the way down to the last player on the bench, I think the standard raises each year.
Right.
I think for the WBBL, playing like the big finals in the big arenas is something that's really good for us, especially when it gets put on like BBC Red Button or online, and it's really important that those showpiece finals are in like big arenas and that it's taken seriously. And I think even like the last playoff final, I remember, and I think the last cup final that I was commentating on, the crowds were huge. So before, it used to sort of be like, all right, well, at half time the crowds will get bigger because they're coming in to watch the men's game after us.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, I think
put a crowd there from the beginning, and it's meant to be get there from the beginning. Kind of used to do that in Leeds as well. I think when I played at Leeds, I played on the second team, and before Leeds Carnegie, if you remember.
Yeah, purple and white, was it?
Yeah, the green and white.
Green and white. Oh, at Leeds. I thought Leeds was purple.
That was Leeds Force.
Oh, okay.
Just before that, they were in D1, and they had the D1 women, and the D1 women's game we packed out, and the men's one will get packed out, but it will get packed out a bit more, but the women's game was packed out to the point where that's kind of want that support from the beginning.
Yeah, that's good. So I think that the WBBL improves each year. There's always areas that need working on, right? So I think, you were talking to Ella, weren't you, about like media and marketing and stuff like that. So I would really like to see, and I think, this is going to start to happen from sort of what I have gathered from like behind the scenes, but that media is going to, I think we're a women's league, and we shouldn't just be there off the back of the men's league. And we're a women's league, so we should be pushing women's issues. Like, it's great to see, stats and all of that sort of stuff. But actually, have we spoken about pay gaps? Have we talked about the effect of like periods on athletes? Do the athletes in our clubs get support with that stuff? Like, do we speak out on women's issues because we are actually a women's league? I think those sorts of things are important.
Kind of like your own identity, you mean?
Yeah, and like socially, that's for me as a female and as a female in sport. I feel like that's my responsibility, because I think if we do that as athletes, then the next generation realise that they're not just here to play. Like, it's a privilege, and you should. There are other things, like once you get a platform, that you should be able to give back.
No, I agree with that. Again, the marketing needs to be a bit more effective.
Yeah, maybe just more personal.
A bit more interaction with the players, interaction with the team, with the league. Yeah. Obviously, we're BBL and WBBL working together, but at the same time, it made them both have their identity instead of just putting it back off of each other, which I totally agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely, because lots of these teams, they have like junior girls programs.
Yeah.
Like, actually, a lot of the girls that signed in at the beginning to like watch this live were from my junior program, because they look up to the players on the older teams and they want to know what they've got to say, and so making it more interactive for them as well, I think, is important.
Definitely. The interaction part is something I do really agree should be done more in both of the women and men's league. So yeah, hopefully they start recognizing certain talents.
They will.
And yeah, we just work along with it. I reckon in some cases they should have a great businessman working with someone who's a great fan who's a great fan of the sport.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things, isn't it, about like who runs the sports and who governs the sports? Because you're right, like you have to have business minds or marketing minds, or I think, and sometimes they don't have any affiliation with basketball. But I think it's a hard commodity to find. But if you can find somebody that can do both and that loves basketball but is also good at marketing, or loves basketball that is a business person, then.
Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
So, what would you say was a defining moment in your career?
Defining. So we've already spoke about like my big successes, I guess. But I think defining moment was. So there was one night in my sophomore year in the States, and you know, I'd come from England where I'd not really ever had any worries about playing time or anything like that. And I got to the States, obviously, like my first year and my second year, I didn't barely play at all.
Yeah.
I only played in my junior and senior year, really. But it was just one night I came back after practice and I was just getting really sick of it all. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm out here so far away from home and I just want to play. I'm a basketball player. I want to play. And it sounds really simple, but I was just online and I just started like Googling like motivational quotes because I was literally at the point where I was like, sod this, like this is ridiculous.
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah. And I found this one quote by Anna Freud that was, I was always looking outside myself for strength and confidence, but it comes from within. It's there all the time. And I wrote it down and I put it up on my wall. And I think it was a real defining moment for me because in my life so far, my basketball career, it was very much like all my confidence came from what other people said to me or how many points I'd scored. And actually, I wasn't really that confident in myself at all. So when I'm now like out on my own and I have to rely on myself, I wasn't able to do it. And that was the moment where I was like, do you know what? No one's going to give you anything. Like, you're going to have to go and get it yourself. I'd say that was like my defining moment, really.
That's good, man. You know, when you're in some situations, you kind of realize you can depend on yourself. So you realize how strong you are, which is good.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll go into this one. Favorite pre-game meal and favorite post-game meal.
I heard this before. So when I was like a proper
you should prepare.
I know, yeah, I've written some things down. No, when I was I guess like if we're doing it currently, I'm not like a professional athlete anymore, so I really like a hot chocolate from Costa before the game. Oh my god!
Oh, she said Costa hot chocolate. You know,
yeah, sorry about
whipped cream and marshmallows too. Yeah.
I don't like whipped cream, but yeah, marshmallows. Oh god! But when I was like a professional athlete, it was more so. Like carbs for me don't go well. They make me feel slower. So I usually wouldn't really have that before a game. It was more just like protein. I'd always have like chicken and lots of green veg. And then afterwards, I really like the Grenade, the protein bar. I don't even know if that's protein, but I know it's got protein.
I can't remember the name, but I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, it's the one that says like carb killer or whatever. Yeah, I quite like that after exercise now, just to like replenish myself. But really, like I can never eat after a game for ages. So I'll just drink like lots and lots of water until I feel hungry. But after the game, I struggle to eat.
Okay. So after the game, it's a struggle to eat. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Then go into one of my favorite parts of this, hot spots.
You try and get people to call people out.
So hot spots. The first part is the simple part. So 2 3-part questions.
Mm-hmm.
First part is player you love playing with, player you love playing against, and a funny teammate.
Yeah, a player I love playing with. So currently, if we're going to talk about currently, I really enjoy playing with my teammate Jazz. Just because she's like hard-nosed, and I grew up playing with boys, right? So I have like a different sort of mentality on the court in a way. And it can spill over sometimes into like fighting and stuff. But she's like the same, right? So I just love her, man. Like, we'll go hard, we'll get into it, and that's it. Like, it's done. Like, I just love that, and I think it makes everyone better.
Yeah, like Will and Martin, Bad Boys, but the girl version, you know.
Yeah.
Right, you know.
Yeah. I really like playing with her. Was it who do I like playing against?
Who do you love playing against? Yeah.
I used to really love playing against Steph Gandy. She played for Sheffield for the majority of her career. Then she was in Newcastle, and then I actually think she was on the roster at Sheffield again this year. And for the same reason, you'd always go hard. She was really passionate, really aggressive, really competitive, but you'd always, like if you scored on her or something, she'd always like give you a bit of props, like secretly or quietly, or you'd do the same like back to her. There's just like respect, but in like a hard nosed sort of gritty way. So I enjoyed playing against her. And what was the other one?
A funny teammate.
Funny teammate. So my funniest teammate now is Chelsea, which is like a small American guard, but she don't do it on purpose. She just doesn't know she's being funny. You just laugh at her. I always catch her doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So she's hilarious. But then I guess my other teammate that actually was funny and meant to be was a girl called Kate Butters. She was on the GB senior team for a while. She played for Wildcats, but yeah. Then she was at Cardiff for a while. Like, she's hilarious.
Kate Butters, I think I've heard of her, you know.
Yeah, she was really good. You would know her.
Kate Butters, did she play for GB?
Yep.
I think I'm losing my memory a little bit. I think that's the same person that Nicolette said she played in the Bucks finals. Might be her, or might be someone else.
Possibly, yeah, because she played at Cardiff, so I think she would have been at the uni there. Might
have been Butters or someone else. But yeah, I remember. Did she have short brown hair?
No, like a brown ponytail.
That's someone else I'm thinking of. Someone else you mentioned. Yeah, it's cool. All right. So the next 3-part question is player you didn't like playing with. So you don't necessarily didn't hate them personally, just as on the court. Play with them. I had a few people call that names, and they said they were cool with them, but they didn't like playing with them. Player you didn't like playing against. So that could be a kryptonite. Everyone has a kryptonite that one person you think, and then I play a funny opponent.
A funny opponent. Okay, so people I don't like playing with. I'm not going to name names, but I can't be asked with people that don't want to. Like, oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I put my charger in.
Did you hear what?
Yeah.
All right.
Again,
sorry, Did you hear what I said?
No, I missed it. I had to put my charger in.
All right, yeah. So people I don't like playing against. Playing with. Like, no names, but I just can't be asked playing with people that aren't like competitive or that don't want to like go at it and take things personal. I can't be bothered.
Yeah. I do understand. You think, why are you playing, man? Just sit down.
Yeah. So that's really it for that one. People that I don't like to play against. Who don't I like to play against? I mean, I don't like anyone I play against, even if I like them off the court. But who don't I like to play against? I would say, although I really, really like her as a person, and in a way I kind of do like playing against her for the same reason, but like Rianne, because...
Bailey?
Yeah, because she's like but she's like relentless as well, you know. So it's like, you know, that you have to make sure that you're, every time you catch the ball, you're concentrating and she's guarding you, or, you know, she can shoot and she can drive. So if she catches the ball, you have to guard her honestly. And she also has like a bit of like fire in her belly. She's like got that competitive edge to her, and I really like that. So I kind of do like it.
I've been meaning to get her on still, so
you need to get her on. Yeah, she's funny as well, you know.
Yeah. She's gonna kill me now. Like, why you not get me on earlier? Like, look, lady, man, chill, man. Like, because I went uni with her, innit? So like, yo, just chill, man. Like,
oh, did you?
Yeah. Something like, I saved the best to last. You know?
Exactly.
So yeah, then I played with her and a funny opponent.
Yeah, I'd probably say her as well, but just I don't tend to joke and laugh on the court. But Manchester always seems to like pull it out of me more than any other team do.
Yeah, so I mean, there always that one person that you think, he's...
Yeah, like Georgia, I'll always have, like Georgia Jones will always have like a bit of a sarcastic comment back and forth about like referees or something.
Well, there's been times the player does something funny on the court while you're on the bench and you're watching. I do remember I had a funny moment when I was in college. I don't remember the guy's name, but I remember all he kept saying, yeah, all day, I'm nice, all day, and all that. I was watching him, and he was terrible. He couldn't shoot the ball. The ball just kept going off the backboard, bang, and you're like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm nice, all day.
Yeah, and you're like...
So my coach was watching, laughing as well. We were looking at each other like, what's this guy on?
Yeah, exactly.
He couldn't make a layup. It was just like, I think was he cycling? He was like, yeah, all day. Burn off the backboard all day. That's what you're going to do.
He was trying to make himself feel better, you know.
Oh my God, she was like, this is not seriously happening. But yeah, I had funny opponents myself. Oh my God. Any viewers who are in now, do you have any questions for Siobhan before we move on? And Siobhan, do you have any questions for myself?
No, I guess not. I just think it's like kind of, I feel like we do need a platform to share. And like you said, just get to know people, because it's important that you know. One thing I've started doing, like some live, but just with younger girls in the States and stuff, and I think what they find important is that. Have you?
I've seen
you saw. Yeah, I saw that.
The first one, that was really good.
Yeah, I saw that you were on it. Yeah, more so that I think they found it quite refreshing that they had a platform where people saw who they were as people and not just who they were as a player, because often they're not aligned. Like who you are as a player and who you are as a person can be quite different.
Definitely.
So I think it's really important. And also, you're right, like we should, from a fan perspective, if people want to really get to know the game and they want to enjoy the game and embrace the game in this country, you have to get to know the players. Otherwise, what are they investing it in?
Exactly.
Yeah. What are your like ideas beyond this? I guess.
Beyond this, that's a good question, and I know I've had this answer. I've had this answer in my head. So beyond this, I definitely want to take it just onto TV. So my main, I've had people that I've had the show recorded. Mm-hmm. I'm looking to release it soon. Nice. I had Justin Robinson on there. Mm-hmm. My first guest, as first basketball guest. Anyway, because initially I was going to do all sorts of basketball and music artists and stuff. But then when I sat with my team, they said it's best if you go basketball, because there is a big hole there. A huge hole market. What you trying to do? So I want to definitely get it on YouTube, get nationally known, and also, other than that, I want to go to the games, if you know what I mean. Turn up to the games where I can do my interaction with the players, live games, so pre-game, during the game, and then post-game. So,
yeah, because I think pre-game and post-game, people love to watch the games and stuff, but that's what people are interested in, like what actually happens behind the scenes.
Yeah. And obviously with me, I'm a jokey kind of person, so I want to bring that side to it as well, you know what I mean? Like Craig Sager did, with that side of it. Like, you know what I mean? He brought out a different side to play because of what the suits he wore and how he was. He brought that different side to it. So that's exactly what I want to do over here. So as well as this, beyond this, bring it onto the screens, hopefully on TV, YouTube, and then go to the games. So I've planned to talk to directors for both BBL and WBBL, and have an interview with the game and bring more content to it.
Yeah, I think it's good having like a sense of, it's always helpful to have like a sense of humour around stuff as well, because I think you can touch on different topics that people wouldn't necessarily be comfortable talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do, because it's all good talking basketball, but there's more to someone like you said, there's more to someone than basketball. This is the little things like now you're drinking tea, when you know what I mean, how many sugars do you have and all that, you know what I mean? You can talk about you going Costa Coffee and that, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know about that. That's what I want to do, man. So
yeah.
And I love basketball, so it helps. I love basketball, so it works hand in hand for me, perfect.
Nice.
It's a passion I want to push.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, we need more people to be pushing it. It's better to have more than less, and right now we don't have enough.
Definitely. So. And what you're doing, I saw that. I thought that's amazing. Push that as well. I'll push that. I'll help you push that as much as I can. And
thank you. Yeah, I just feel like not so many kids want to go out to the States now, and I think it's become sort of a thing where it's I just want to go to the States, and there's no real thought process behind it.
Yeah.
And they don't know what it's actually like, how hard it actually is.
That's a good idea. Get them to see the other side of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're not going to listen to me, right? I'm like 33. I did it, however many years ago, I'm not going to say. But it's different when someone that's like there now is like, do you know what? This is actually quite tough, and this is what's tough about it. So hopefully they'll like this more chance of them listening to people of their own age and even getting valuable advice from them.
Give them something to think about. Think about more why you want to go see it. Don't just go because it's for the sake of going. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
I'm thinking myself as well. Why I'm doing this as well, because it just came in my head. The visuals. I want people to see the visuals. It's all good talking about it, and the podcast thing is good because a lot of people doing podcasts, but visuals. I want people to see the players, see what we're doing, see the interact with them. That's the best way, I think. Yeah,
you get a better feel for someone, don't you, when you can see them?
Yeah, definitely. Like I mentioned it with Nicolette, I said it's like why a lot of people were so upset with Kobe died, because it's like we all felt like we knew him. So we didn't just watch him play basketball. You kind of saw him off the court and how he was thinking mentally and the Mamba mentality, like all of that. You're like, this guy's crazy. He's a psycho. And then you watch him play, and then when he like you felt like you knew him. So I think that's what I want to bring to everyone else. Yeah, because it wasn't really until you saw him being like a dad and his like family side that people started to really understand what made him go and like what his drive was. Yeah, and then you could see he was in love with his daughters and his wife. You know, he was just, and the things he was doing for women basketball was amazing. So got to know him a bit more. So that was good. Yeah, for sure. And then you're going now everyone's trying to get to know Jordan again with The Last Dance. So you've been watching that? Oh, look at that! Yeah. Last two tonight. Yeah, I've been watching it. I love it. I love him, man. I love him. He's a psycho. Like, that's why I love him. He's a psycho. I like it. I mean, I love that. He always tried to find a reason to go at someone, innit? Yeah. I like that, man. It's funny because you get like different opinions, don't you? So people are texting you all the time, and they're like, "Oh my god, can you believe he said that? What an ass!" Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, like I love it." I'm like, "Come on, like that's why he was amazing." He said goodbye to me, so I'm going to get him next game. Like, he just said bye. That's it. Oh no, I love that though. I actually love it. Oh, he didn't wave at me in the hotel. You're like, I was making up things in his head, you know. I was thinking to myself, imagine if I was in that position and I scored, I had a good game against him. I don't know how I'd finish the game. I don't know if I'll be his best friend or afterwards. I don't know what he would want to. I'd just say pick my poison. I'd say good game, see you later, goodbye, leave. Yeah, because it was one of the first episodes where he was like pissed at like the Pistons because. hot in it. Oof.
All right, sorry, that meant we're out of time, right?
It cut out. Sorry.
That's all right.
You were saying the last dance. You talking about the last dance before you cut out.
Yeah, and the one thing I did always notice about him actually, which I didn't think he did before, was he did actually used to say good job and like high five everyone. And I think that's why he got so affronted when the Pistons didn't do that for them.
Yeah. They tried to say, well, they said their excuses was that Celtics did it to them.
Yeah.
And it was like,
That's a bad excuse. I'm like, if you're being like that, you just own up to it. Like, it's fine. Like, if that's you, then, and, you know, sometimes when you're competitive, stuff like that happens, but you have to, like, admit it.
He could have just said, you know what, at the time I was a sore loser.
Yeah.
All right, cool. But
exactly. He tried to, like, cover it up and everything.
Oh, the Celtics did it to us, man. Shit. Well,
yeah, and he's like, it was different in those times. It was different in those times. Like, okay.
It was mad. One of my favourite parts of the last dance, I think, was one of the part of Rodman describing how he rebounds the ball. It was just like,
specific.
Like, I was like, that's a genius. Like, he's proper detailing. If it goes this way, it's gonna go that way. So I'm like, this guy's actually studied the art of rebounding. So
yeah,
he has 7 titles, rebounding titles.
Yeah, he was an absolute monster, wasn't he? But yeah, because I don't think people teach rebounding enough. You know, like we'll tell the kids that if someone is in the right corner and they shoot it, it's very often going to go either over the other side of the basket or come out towards them. Like you have to be the best rebounders position themselves as people are shooting, don't they?
That's mad. It's crazy, and it's like with him, I don't know how he knew where the ball was. It was just like, how do you know what shot was being shot? You know, it was
yeah. Some people just have that knack as well, don't they, of being around the ball.
And he did, and fair enough, shoot around. I don't think he used to go shoot around. They said he used to just rebound, didn't it? Like,
it sounded like he just did whatever he wanted, honestly.
Yeah, and it worked. So you can't really blame him if it works.
Went to Vegas for a month, came back. Oh, God.
That was mad. What he went for? Yeah, what? He just went for Vegas randomly, and Jordan was like, if we let him go, he's not coming back.
I know. Like, you know what? If that was my team, that was one thing I was surprised at his reaction for. Because I feel like if my head coach took me into a room and said, this player wants to go on holiday for a weekend, come on, like a week.
I'll be pissed. I'll be like,
what? Yeah? I'd be like, I don't think so.
This is where Phil Jackson's mastermind thing works. It's like, he understood the player and you showed that he cared of that. So, in fact, he went and said, how long do you want to go for? It was just like, oh, he's actually considering this. Like,
yeah.
I didn't even know you.
Yeah, but then he made the other players accept it as well. Like, I don't know how that happened, because swear to God, if I was on that team, no one's making me accept the fact someone else is getting like a holiday in Vegas when I'm here practicing. And then that they had to run to get him in shape when he came back.
But the funny thing is, he was fine though. That's the joke. He was a freak, so he wasn't like he was out of shape. He came back fine.
And he was like sprinting off at the front.
So I reckon he was sprinting for the fact that he was trying to make up for the fact that he was away.
I hope so.
But that's bad, man.
That would not be okay with me, man. Not be. I get annoyed when like our young ones have got. You don't plan holidays in the middle of the season. Like you're playing. Like you know that the season starts and ends here. Like what are you doing?
You're running around. Oh my God.
And he's getting paid stupid amounts of money.
No man, that was surprising, man. But yeah, the last 2 tonight is gonna be a good one.
I know. I'm excited.
That's ending so soon. Well,
I know. Me too.
But should have done 1 episode a week, but 2 episodes, fair enough. Like,
I love looking at the house.
I'll probably watch it again. I end up watching a lot of documentaries. I watch a lot of championship documentaries and NBA, so they're good. So, like,
I like the 30 for 30 stuff on ESPN.
Yeah, that's good as well.
Some of them are amazing.
That's good. Yeah, I do watch a lot of documentaries. I love it, man. So apparently they get the Kobe one coming out, I think. But
really?
Yeah, I think for his last 2 years, they reckon. And I think Dwayne Wade's doing the one as well for the Redeem team as well. So
Imagine if you could just say, okay, this is my last season, and pay someone to follow you around and document it.
Yeah, they could afford that as well. So
No. That'd be awesome. Huh?
LeBron should do that in his last season, I reckon.
I feel like he's probably documented every single year, honestly. Like, he's on top of that stuff. He's probably got a documentary for every single season ready to go when he retires.
True. Probably has that well thought ahead, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been anyway. Siobhan, it's been a great one.
Well, thanks for inviting me on.
Oh, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming.
No problem. Oh, no problem.
Definitely. When's the next podcast?
So it is on Thursday with Macy Spinks at 8 p.m.
Okay, I'll tune into that one. I'll put a reminder. Definitely.
And I've got all yours because you've released all yours, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen everyone's face now. It was like, I can see it. I'm like, yeah, cool. I've got more to release. I've got to do some more. So I've got some guests on tomorrow. So that's going to be interesting.
Good.
So, yeah, it'll be a good one tomorrow, hopefully. Anyone else who's tuned in, add Siobhan at Siobhan Prior _4.
Yes. Thank you.
And myself, Everyting Chris _2020. And that's my one. And if you want to ask me any questions after this, yeah, I'll answer them. And Siobhan, thank you again.
No problem.
Hope you well and stay safe. So stay in touch.
You too. All right. See you later.
Peace.
Bye.
Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.